When it comes to keeping our homes comfortable, energy efficient, and even healthy when it comes to our heating and air conditioning units, well, nobody does it better than our good friends at McCall's HVAC. And joining me right now is Bryant Dunn, who is the president with McCall's. Hey, Bryant, it's great to see you.
Great to see you again, Neville.
So that's what we're talking about today, because a lot goes into assessing our home and making sure that we test it to see if there are any issues going on.
Without a doubt. In this assessment, it's a step beyond your normal air conditioning service, and we'll talk a little bit about that today.
So there's an assessment and there's diagnostic testing, and you guys do such a great job with all of that.
Well, thank you. Yes, the diagnostic testing helps us form an assessment of what's going on in the home, where we can then develop an improvement plan.
So can you give me some examples of some of the diagnostic testing that's done?
Well, sure. We've talked about the blower door a little bit, where we exert a known pressure on the home so we can see how leaky the home is. Think about, is my home tight like a Yeti cooler or very loose like a log cabin?
Because a lot of people may not even realize that they have leaks in the home.
That's right. We need to find them because they're the #1 source for indoor air pollutants and high utility bills.
Okay, and then I see a big blue thing back here. What exactly is this?
This is what we call a flow hood. This is where we can measure the amount of air that comes out of each and every register. We can then add those up to find out, is all the air that you're paying for getting into the home?
You know, there's no way that we as homeowners would know anything about this kind of thing, but that's why you need an expert when it comes to making sure that you keep things comfortable and affordable in your home. So what are we going to be talking about today regarding diagnostic testing?
One of the things we want to talk about today is one of the great diagnostic testing tools, which is our infrared camera. So we can now, the infrared camera helps us make heat and humidity visible. So that's humidity, heat, temperature, these things are invisible. This helps us make them visible so we can identify problems in the home.
You know, it's so amazing because I deal with cameras all the time in the TV business. I never in a million years thought that a heating and air conditioning expert would also use an infrared camera.
Visible light compared to thermal energy.
Okay, so, visible light compared to thermal energy.
energy.
Okay, so let's see how this works.
So they use it for in the military and weather and satellites. So it's a thermal image. You can see it's a special kind of lens that just reflects the heat off of objects. So we're able to turn it around and put it and actually see the heat coming off of objects. And it turns thermal energy to visible light for us. So
Bryant, can you show me how this actually works in this home?
Yes, let's look around a little bit. Let's see, so there's a supply register, and I can see the temperature coming out. I can see even the framing in the home. I can look for lack of insulation. We're seeing a light right there.
Because I see all kinds of colors, and I guess that means something.
Right, we interpret those colors to tell us what we need to know.
Okay, so what are we looking at right here?
Well, right here, we're looking at a thermal image. There's a can light up in the attic. You can see it's at 209 degrees. Mm-hmm. Where my crosshair is, it's at 85.5 degrees. Out of this air conditioning register, we're getting 93, 94 degrees. So that tells me that there's hot air in that duct coming out. So that would be an issue. That is an issue, as we found out earlier, that the air conditioning is on, yet it's 93 degrees coming out of that vent.
Okay, so what are some issues besides that? I mean, what are some of the issues that you can find using the infrared mechanism?
Well, there's moisture. We can find moisture in the home where we've had perhaps a ceiling leak or a dripping pipe. We're able to scan the surface and find defects in insulation, moisture issues, air infiltration. That's a point. And there's nothing wrong with this home, but where wood comes together, there's no insulation, so these areas heat up. We have to make a determination, is that a treatable area or something of significance or not?
So you go through the entire home looking at all the different areas using the infrared equipment.
Using the infrared camera and all our other equipment, sometimes in conjunction. When we put the blower door on and suck and blow on the house, we get more infiltration in. It helps us do our infrared diagnostics by having exaggerated pressure on the home.
So, Bryant, let me ask you this. What happens if you go through the entire home and you start to see issues? What happens then? What's the next step?
The next step is to develop a scope of work for improvement, interpreting the images and using it with the other information we've gathered to put together a scope of work to make the home more comfortable and energy efficient.
You know, just as we deal with changing technology, I'm sure that technology constantly changes with the heating and air conditioning business as well, but nobody does it better with keeping up with things than McCall's HVAC.
We're geeks that way.
You're geeks. But you know, you really care about your customers too.
We do. And we found that if we do these whole building investigations, we can really get to the root cause of the issues that are causing them discomfort, high utility bills, poor air quality.
And I always believe in dealing with an expert that not only cares about providing great service, but really cares about educating you as well. Why should our viewers choose McCall's HVAC when dealing with assessing their home?
It's very important that our homeowners understand what's going on in their home. So if they call us, we'll take that extra time to explain. They don't have to know all the science, but we will show them what's going on in their home so they can make an informed decision.
Not only an informed decision, but it will definitely keep you comfortable, energy efficient, and also healthy in your home. And that's what it's all about. That's what I've learned from you guys.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
That's why they're our experts. I want to thank you, Bryant, for again joining us and for educating our viewers.
Anytime. Thank you.
It's great to see you. If you'd like more information on McCall's HVAC or any of our Coastal Experts, just check out our Coastal Experts page. You'll find that at WSAV.com.